Okay, so in this video I'd like to talk about a very interesting episode of Space 1999 where the moon base was attacked and they were forced to evacuate, and Professor Bergman, or Barry Morse, made this fantastic farewell to Moonbase Alpha speech. So let's talk about what happened and then we'll talk about his speech. Okay, now everything in this use is completely fair use. It's commentary, review, education, documentary, comparison. I'm doing all those sort of things. So get stuffed YouTube with your copyright infringements. This is all fair use. And I'm only using short clips, and I encourage everybody to buy the DVDs or rent the videos or whatever. Support the original creators and their and so on, and the people that worked on it. Righto. So in this episode, before I go any further, so this video contains no spoilers. I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end. I'm not going to tell you, what goes on. I'm not going to do anything that spoils the video, so you can still watch it and get everything out of it. So I recommend you buy and watch the Space 1999 DVDs or whatever. So this is the episode we're talking about today is War Games, and it's Season 1, Episode 4, War Games. And in this episode, Moonbase Alpha is attacked without any warning or provocation. It's just attacked out of the blue. Okay, and their base is damaged, and a lot of people are killed. Okay, so it's a very serious episode, but there was no warning or provocation. It's just ships started coming down from another planet that they were passing by and attacked them. So, and they've been trying to communicate with the planet saying, hello, can you hear us, and all that sort of stuff. So there was no provocation. And so I've got some clips coming up to show you what happened when the ships came and attacked, and then we'll continue with the story.
Yeah. All right, back to your post. Let's go.
All 3 Eagles destroyed, Commander.
Well, they're going by the book. First, they eliminate the fighter defenses. Then they send in the bombers.
Okay, so now the attack's happened, or at least part 1 of the attack. There might be more, they don't know. And I'm certainly not saying. But, and now they come to weigh up their situation. How do things currently stand? So, and it's not good news. Okay, so they're always precarious situation. They're in a very precarious situation anyway at the best of times, because the base can only support that many people that are there. They can't have children and things, so it's a very precarious existence. And now their situation is quite dire, and many people, many Eagles, and much of the base has been destroyed, and key infrastructure, power, water, food production have been severely damaged or destroyed. And most of the people who were killed were the repair technicians that are now needed to get things working again. So their repair people are, a lot of them anyway, are gone, sucked out into space or killed, or otherwise killed. Okay, so their precarious situation is now dire. So let's look at some clips where they discuss that. And I've only got a few clips here to keep things short. And then we'll return again.
There's nothing we can do.
128 dead.
We're running off solar batteries. On minimum requirements, they'll be exhausted within 8 days.
The food production and recycling plants have been very badly damaged. The water is heavily contaminated.
How long to repair?
9 weeks minimum, but then it would be at least 2 more months before we could begin cropping.
Okay, so their situation is very dire. They're going to run out of power before they can repair things. They're going to run out of food long before they can get food production back online, and so on. And their water is contaminated, and so the Moonbase Alpha is now non-livable. It can't be lived in for long. They've got to evacuate. Okay, so they're forced to evacuate, and not only that, the only place they can go to is the planet that attacked them. So the planet where the attack came from. Okay, so they're forced to evacuate, which is bad. They're forced to evacuate in a hurry, which is bad, and also they're forced to evacuate to the planet where the attack came from. So they're probably going to get a hostile reception, and maybe a lot worse than hostile. Maybe it's going to be a murderous reception. We don't know. Okay, but just before the last eagle departs, Professor Victor Bergman, played by Barry Morse, a great actor, one of my favourite characters in Space 1999. In fact, I would say he's my favourite character. And he makes a very interesting speech. So let's now look at his speech, and I'll play the whole thing because it's needed for this discussion. Okay, and then we'll come back and talk about what he says and how he said it.
You have 3 minutes, Professor.
Thank you, Paul.
Recording now.
We are mankind. We came from planet Earth, and we built this base called Alpha to learn more about space. But human error blasted this moon out of Earth's orbit. And so we have travelled the universe, searching for a place to live, and now we can no longer live here. And we go to face an uncertain future on a planet that has nearly destroyed us. You, whoever you are, who find this empty vessel of Alpha, come and seek us out, if we still exist. Come and teach us all you know, because we have learned many things, but most of all, we have learned that we still have much to learn.
Goodbye, Alpha.
Okay, so that was his amazing speech. And did you notice how amazing this speech is? Okay. Did you notice what he said? Okay. Very interesting stuff. The moon base has just virtually been destroyed and made unlivable. Hundreds of people, over 100 people have been killed. And the amazing thing is, there's no anger in his speech. Okay. There's no talk of, we're probably all going to die. There's no talk of, we're going to go and fight the enemy and take out as many as we can, and we'll kill them and fight to the last person. There's none of that in his speech at all. There's no bitterness, there's no anger. Okay? And instead it's a speech of hope. Okay? I think it's a speech of hope. And he says things like, come and seek us out. If you find a Moonbase Alpha and you're playing this recording, come and seek us out. And also, we've still got a lot to learn. Okay? So that's strongly implying that the Alphans believe they have a future, and they're not giving up. They're not just going to go to this planet and take names and kick ass and kill as many of the aliens as they can. They're going to go and try and live there and live peacefully. Okay? And I think that's an amazing speech. The moon base has been destroyed. Over 100 people have been killed. They can't live there anymore. It's impossible to live there. They're being forced to evacuate to the planet that attacked them. And he's saying, come and seek us out. We've still got a lot to learn. In other words, they're going to try and live in peace with the people that attack them. And I think that's very powerful. And I think it's a message of hope that perhaps a lot of people could be learning from today in the modern world, with all the craziness that's going on all around the world, tensions rising and all sorts of things between countries. Maybe we could learn a lot from this speech. Just saying. Righto. So anyway, I recommend you you buy the DVDs and rent or buy and watch Space 1999. Space 1999 and other sci-fi shows from the 50s, 60s, 70s and so on are still very relevant and well worth watching today, as this episode proves. Okay, so there's a lot of interesting messages there. The people in the 60s, 50s and 70s were looking forward and thinking about how things could be, and that's always an interesting thing to do, especially when you do it with a message of hope. Okay, so anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.